going to do is I'm going to show a two-part spider guard kind of setup. And hopefully the camera being set up back a little bit of ways will allow this to take place. If not, we'll see. We'll give it a try. We're going to use the kneeling dummy, FavUke. And there's a few, he's got a gi on, and I still got to kind of adjust this a little bit. So right now he's wearing, I think, an A2, and maybe an A3 might be a little bit better, but he is the 6 foot, 70 inch kneeling dummy. We're gonna start with a spider guard. I'm gonna do the move, and then I'll explain it. So we're just gonna do the first move. All right, so in the first angle, what I do is I have my opponent in my closed guard. What I want to do is, first thing that I want to do is establish your grips, right? And as I get the grips, I get this little kind of a pocket grip. You take the gi and you pop it, and you create this little gi here. This little pocket here where you put your finger in it. Again, no fingers on the inside. And I get that on both, right? So now I can kind of control them. They might grab your gi, not that big of a deal right now. But what I would do is, I don't want to open my guard completely like this so I can kind of move around. What I do is I want to keep my feet closed. And then I want to kind of use still pressure on their body and turn to the side, right? I'm still creating pressure on the body. And now I'm going to slide one knee through and open and flare it out. The next one I'm going to do is, again, knee through and flare it out. And now I'm going to pull these sleeves tight. So he's trying to pull out. The opponent will do one of two things. They'll either stand up, try to stand up and push my legs to the side. They'll stand up and try to maybe grab my belt or something and flip me backwards. They're going to try to stand up and get their hands in grips here. So they're going to do a couple things where they're going to try to stand up and push me off. So what I'm going to do, the first one, I'm just going to test the waters, grab my grips here. Maybe they're staying here and they're just kind of playing here. What you can do is you bring your left or right foot and put it, you're flaring your legs out, you put it on your thigh and you kind of hold it here, right? It's kind of like a shield too. They're not really moving in here, and maybe they're trying to undo their hands. They're just sitting right in here now. What you want to do is kick your leg up, kick your leg through, and pull them into you. Now you just shoulder trap here, right? Now from here, you want to go hip up, push the arm across, control the head, foot on the body, on the hip. You got the shin. And now we're not going to do this motion. We're going to just kind of pivot on our back like a top, right? So in here, we're going to open up, draw the toes back, and now you can hook this other arm in here to get that angle. Get your knees pointing in the same direction, so they're not just kind of open here. You want to close that knee. Try to get this knee to go to this knee. Takes away the space. Drive that arm into the side of the neck. And that's your triangle, right? When I learned it was called the trapdoor triangle. Right? So if you're here, you get your grips. You can off to the side, knee comes through, flares open, and your foot goes under hip. This knee comes through, flares open, goes under hip. Right? On the other side, here, you're kind of preventing them coming in. Leg goes up, pull in, trap. Right? Now from here, I hip up, get the arm across, and I grab the back of the head. My right foot goes to their left hip. My right hand grabs my left shin. I don't grab my toes. I grab my shin. Leg goes over, pull these toes tight, pull the head, here. That really takes up the space on this side, right? The tester move, you know, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. It might set up the other things in here, but you want to get your grips first. And his gi is pretty tight, but what we're going to do is just grab the gi here for a little bit, and then quick pop it. And now I have this 4-finger grip on the inside of this pocket. Not really using too much strength in here because I don't want to tire out my forearms. And I have here, I want to kind of open my legs, but I'm still squeezing the body. And now I'm going to pivot, right? From here I draw my knee through, my foot goes on the hip, flares it open. Turn the other side, bring the knee through, flare it open, both feet are on his hip now. Now here, maybe they're just kind of sitting here trying to figure out how to get their arms free, or they're trying to wrap in here or whatever. Take your foot here and just kind of block them from coming on top of you. And they're still not moving. You're gonna just kick this leg up. This leg goes through, and now you just pull them in. Boom, right? Hip up, hip off the ground, arm goes across. Left hand grabs the back of their head. I'm grabbing my left leg with my right hand, my right shin. And now my foot goes to the hip, and I get that angle. Now what I'm gonna do is get my knees parallel. Grab that arm, tap. And you have to use the hands. Right? Here, if this arm is here, you have your arm bar still. All right, that's the trapdoor triangle. The second move will be a little trickier with the dummy. It's because we're gonna go up and over. So what happens is, they're gonna give me a response of standing up. Right? So again, I'm gonna get that same setup. So I'm gonna get a little distance here. Same setup. He's in my closed guard. My feet are locked. I don't open these up. Right? I get my grips, and I do the same procedure. Squeeze, pivot, knee through, foot to the hip, knee through, foot to the hip. And now I'm pulling his arms against my shins and flaring this open here. What this person's going to do now is, one of their ways to get out is to stand up and to get my legs straight so they can push them down to the ground, right? So they stand up, they back up, and then what they do is they can get my feet to the ground and push them straight down and then past. And then it makes these grips useless. So I have to have that push-pull kind of concept. I'm pulling and I'm pushing my legs, keeping the tension on his arms and his hips, right? So as he stands up, I'm gonna have to hold my feet. As he stands up, my arms, I'm gonna bring my hands on the inside, right? A lot of times what they do is they'll pull, they keep trying to back up, and they'll pull you along the mat, right? So he's walking back and pulling. What you wanna do is get your hips underneath him as he pulls. So one of the pulls, you're gonna get this motion. You're gonna get under here. Now what you can do is just take the arms out to the side, and you're gonna take them over. You have them here, and I just bring them out here, and you take them all the way over to the side, and dump. And you come up on top. All right, so let's try that with a little bit more momentum. Again, it's a little trickier with an kneeling dummy, not a real person, but we make do. So I get my grips, pocket grips, no thumbs on the inside. right? Pivot, knee through, knee through. He goes to stand up, pulls me back. Hands, he'll kind of bring the hands to the inside. He'll pull back, pull, and then you're gonna you want to get underneath him. So as he pulls, you're gonna scoot underneath him, right here. So he's over the top of you. Once he's here, now you have him up in the air. You put him to the side, and just like when you do a backwards roll, look where you want to go. Dump him there and go. Right. So as you do this, you go up. Now you come in, and now you have your mount. Right? Hand in, hand in. All right, let's see if I can get that at a different angle. Right? That's just your spider guard sweep into mount. So we just showed you the 2 moves from spider guard. Again, we're still kind of exploring the kneeling dummy, this FavUke. And so far, you know, every dummy has their limitations. You don't have a real person. I think these are your next best opportunity to get some moves in, get some techniques in, get a little bit of a sweat. I just did, I don't know, probably maybe 20 repetitions. How many times can you get that in class? You know, sometimes you're lucky if you get 2 or 3 moves, because I gotta do my move, then I gotta let him do his move, and then I'm lucky if I get back to my move again, he might not get his move again. So I just got 20 reps. Again, were they ideal? No, because he's not standing. But I know in my head what needs to be done with this position. So again, you know, if you're talking about, you know, getting in the perfect rep, do you always get that perfect rep in when you're actually rolling? No, it's hard to pull off the perfect technique all the time. What you can do is get close to that technique and simulate it. Now, I had to do a lot of things to him to get him in positions I wanted. Typically, I like him to pull me across the floor a little bit, and as he pulls, then I like to scoot underneath and get him above me so his center of gravity is right above me. From there, just looking at momentum, his weight and my tension on his hips will help carry me over into that mount. So again, if you like what you're seeing, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm going to be adding a lot more with the FavUke because I like to do a lot of bottom position. So stick around. Thanks.